Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Luinish Vasam Yakusholam Vilabasi Vasitzchok. We're holding in Basra Daf Kuf. We're starting the Mishnah Daf Tzeites base. This is the Daf that will be learned Be'ez Hashem on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, and this is a recording that's being done before. So the Mishnah. Mishoy Sodech Harabim Oiveris Latoich Sadeu. Person has a pathway, Dech Harabim, going through his field. Not law, he removed it. V'nasla Minatzat, and he gave them a pathway on the side of the field. What he gave is theirs, they keep it. The shaloi lo higiyui, and he still is not going to get back what he tried to take back. The Gemara is going to explain why. Now, in general, derech hayochid, what is the size of derech hayochid? When someone sells to his friend derech hayochid, what is it? Dal dams. Derech harabim, what's that size? 60 dams. Derech hamelech in lashir. There's no shear could be as large as could be. Derech hakever in lashir. The pathway to get to the grave is also in lashir. We'll see in the Gemara what it means. Hamaimot, which we'll see also what it is. The yoni tzipori oimu base arbo kavim. It's the size of arba kavim. That's the place of the maimet. And the Rishban first of all says the yoni tzipori. I don't know where it is. Lois parish, just the Rishban. Now base arba kavim beibua. So the Rashban does a cheshbon based on the Chatzar Mishkan. We're talking about it's 33 amas and 2 tfachim on 50. That's going to be a size of base arba kavim. Says the Gemara, why do you say that when he did that exchange, he didn't get back the field? Linkard pizru of a lasiv, take a stick, stand in the entrance and say nobody comes in. You go to your place. Go to the pathway I gave you. Shamas bino loyavi the inish deal nafshay afilu mokapsego. So the say for me, a person cannot do a din for himself, even if there's an absent. And here, the more understand at this moment, you can't take anybody to the base din because it's disrupting. So the more understands it's a fair exchange. I'm giving you instead of this pathway a different pathway, right? So you're giving me a different pathway. Why it doesn't work? Well, Elamai told me it works, but you can't do anything about it. Why not? Over the inish deal of shave is losing money. It's exero because maybe you will not give them a good pathway. Maybe what he's going to give them in exchange won't be great. We're not talking about a case that maybe. We're talking about a case that it wasn't really we gave him a bad way. But if you wouldn't have given a bad way, maybe it would be a fair exchange. Says the every minatzad is a kalton. Why? What do you mean minatzad? If I had a pathway in the middle and I moved it to the right, so everybody on the left is upset. Well, you move the pathway away from me. Every time you move it, you're causing some damage to somebody. Says Says, okay, you know what? So you want to tell me it doesn't work because I can't give you an exchange of the pathway. So give me back. Take back yours and give me back what I gave you. Why are you saying now the Rabbi have both? Say, well, Ambani and Belezer, this is Shittas of Belezer. Telling you, I'm sure of Belezer. Rabbi Shibiru derech la'atzmum. The Rabbi made a way. Ma Shibiru biru. If the Rabbi took away for themselves, nothing you can do about it. So one second, Belezer, Rabbi Gazolin. They could just be thieves and steal something. Meaning, when did Rabbi Belezer say that they can take derech la'atzmum? When the Avdom they did have a pathway in this field, just don't remember where. So that's why they can go and say, we'll take something. Right? The Rashbam says over here, a big chiddush, the Rabbi have a din of basin. Look at the Rashbam. He says, he has to go to basin. They're basing. The Maminai Mazul Vidino. They have a dinner basing, they can come and take it. Says the Gemara, Yachi, Imai. So the Gemara understands what of the Derech Sadeh, that's what they can take it. Yachi, Omar, Baguno, Omarav, Henach Kablaza. Why you Basra like a Blaza? He says something which is true. They take a bit Derech Latzo. No, you're right. If you explain Rabbi Lazar that he about derech, so that'll be the right din. But if you talk about that, we're not talking about shavdolam derech, so then in chinami and el Rabbi Lazar. The Tayyamai, what is, right? It says, what's really the reason that the rabbin can take it away? In other words, the Tayyamai goes that if you don't hold like a Belazar, so what is the case over here? Once the rabbin came and take the place, you can't take it away from them. There's a cloud, the Meita Shechzika Barabim, also a calculator. Right? Why? So the Rashbam explains, because he was Moichel. There's a Mechil over here. Although we should explain different reasons. That's why Rashbam learns Loshra Mechil. Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Mai Kodolei. So according to Rabbi Lazar, that says that according to Rabbi Lazar, Beloy of Derech, and says whatever they took without, they could just take whatever they want. How they create it? So it won't be lucha, just by fact they walked on the place. The Tanya, where he walks on the length and the width of the field. It's creating. The hiluch doesn't work until you do chazaka. My time with the Abelazar, the Tanya that says hiluch works. It says by Avraham Avinu, told him to walk there to show that tells me that it is his, that's his kohen. It should be easy to conquer in front of his children. What does it mean it should be easy? If you look at the Rashbam, where the Rashbam says, there won't be a Satan can't be Mikach because Avraham already went there. So Zog the Chido, what is this? This goes back to what the Ramban says, that when the Novi wants a Nevuah to be Miskayim, he does the Simin to say, it starts. When the Novi makes a Simin, the Nevuah began. A Nevuah in Shemayim can be cancelled. But if it started already to be fulfilled, then it can be cancelled. So that's why Novi would do a siman over here. He takes a horn that says Be'elit Tinagach Sarim, do a little siman over here for it to have it implemented here in this world. So everyone who walks in Eretz Yisrael, he starts to implement the kibush of Am Yisrael, and that's why they already have it. And this is such a nugel in Yom Diyom is no niflamoid, because we know that in Rosh Hashanah we do simonim, simonim milsei. Why we do simonim? Simon is to have a siman toif to the year. So everybody asks, all the first asks are bothered by it. They say, what do you mean? Isn't that nichush? So the Maharal explains that nichush. The Maharal says, we have a time of shefa coming Rosh Hashanah. We want it to be chal in something similar to this ideal, that we want to have a siman to begin. So we say, put an apple in the honey. We say, we have your happy, sweet new year. That's a siman. That siman starts. Once it starts, it won't stop. Similar to the Ramban, this Ramban is Lamish over here. So the shvil shekramim, the whole purpose of the shvil is only to walk, so you coordinate the derech ha'ishtamshus that you're going to use it for. And here's another source, a big thing, that whatever you're going to use it, that is the chazak. So what you also commit David Tzchabaram Yomelu, Habulei keichet dedari tuno deshabishto vehoder. So what does it mean? He says, when they came in front of Yitzchok, when someone is giving a shur shekramim, he says, what is the size of shur shekramim? The amount it takes to carry a load of reeds and turn them out. That's only when there is a fence. Like I said, I need enough room to turn around. So I don't have to have so much space, just enough room to put my feet. If I don't have a fence in between, I can always turn around with the reeds and nothing is bothering me to go ahead. So the derech hayokid is supposed to be, it's 4 amos. For a donkey to cross with his load. That's how much it is. That's the size, 2 gamodim mechza. What is gamodim exactly? Either it's a small am or a regular am. That's halakha. We say, what is it? Is it like a donkey in Masai, or it's considered to be 2 gamodim? It's the same shear. When you go from one city to another, and the only it's only for these cities, as the Rashbam says, then it's Shmoin Amos. Why it has to be for 4 Amos for each side? It's a two-way street. So 4 Amos to this direction, 4 Amos to this direction. Here's the one of Kufa on base. Derech Rabim Shesh Amos. The Rabim is 16 Amos. And the Rashbam says goes to Eretz Rechoik. Derech Miklat Shloishim Mishtayim Amos. For Ari Miklat has to be 32 Amos. Why? What's the source? Chtiv Techin Lecho HaDerech. Could have said Techin Lecho Derech. What is Techin Lecho HaDerech? Derech HaDerech. The extra 8 tells you it's a double derech, not 16 Amos, 32 Amos. When the king comes, the king has rishus to do whatever he wants. And there's also Nigel and Yon the Yoimor, because Rosh Hashanah, which is the daf we're doing Rosh Hashanah, is the day of Malchus Hashem. The Melech has that rishus to do whatever he wants, and he could also go in Mizaki Bedin when a person doesn't deserve. This is more Decha Kever and the Shir, the way, the pathway to the grave is no Shir, Mishum Yekora, the Shichvo. I need to have enough room to do covered for the mace. So we're discussing exactly what's the case of the derech of the kever. So one way that the Rishonim say pshat is that if a person went and made a tanah to somebody else, I want to make a levaya over here. So he needs to give him as much as people come for the levaya, he needs to give him the room. What is that? A person sells his grave, the pathway to get to this grave, which we'll discuss. Ubeis is spade, the place where they do a spading, eulogies. Even though he said they could go, the mishpacha will do it. They'll force the buyer to do it. It's a takana. Should not cover to lose the base kvaros of the family. Torah was looked at more. You have to have 7 times Moshe Ma'amad. What's a Moshe Ma'amad? So here the Rashbam explains, when they go from back to the caver, they go and they sit down, and then they get up and continue walking. And every time they sit down, they think about the fact that a person is Chaya Odom, is Hevel, and that's what they do. The Rashbam brings another pshat because the Shadim join them, says that we don't agree to that. And we see that, we'll see later that it's not every place they did it. So it's Shiva Amadus Umushavas Lamis. Why is Shiva? Because we want to speak about the Havolim. It's connected to Hevel, Havolim. Hevel is 1. Havolim is 2, together it's 3. Oh my Krelis. Hevel, Havolim, again, 1 and another 2, it's another 3. Hakol Hevel, that's 7. Right? What do they do? They used to do one with the Shabbos. In other words, they said, get up and get down. If that's all they do, you should do also in Shabbos. And the Gemara does not say what Rabbanan argue. The Gemara understood the Rabbanan said they didn't do it on Shabbos. Why not? If you're just standing and sitting down, why not? So the Rishonim want to say the name Pshat is that they used to say Dvarim Shel Tzar, used to cry. And cry you can't do on Shabbos. The sister of Rabbi Chama was married to Ravayu. Shchiva, she died. That's what he did. He did 2 mistakes. You do it only bekroivim, the kroivi ames, and he brought it even the rechokim. You do it only the day of the kvura, not the next day. There was a 3rd mistake. You do it in base kvaros. You did it in the city. There's a 4th mistake. It's only a place of minig you do this thing. There wasn't a minig to do it. According to you, you should be able to do a Shabbos. If you only do the base kvaros, and only the day that they bury the mace, base kvaros be Shabbos by bay. So what are you doing in Shabbos and base kvaros? Elamat the next day, and that's where you're at home. So what they did was they buried the mace right before Shabbos, and they're right next to the base kvaros. So as they're coming back, he says, why don't they do the Shiva Amad and Shabbos? It's still the same day. They just buried the mace, and you're in the city coming back for the base kvaros. So that's why it's considered to be part of the base kvaros when you do it. Okay, so we got to the Mishnah. Stop over here. Continue from here. Pays Hashem in the next daf.